What's up, Happy Nation? This is the return of the two. You guys remember the show? Kind of. We're back, and Jay is now controlling audio, visuals, whatever. He's just being Jay. Finally doing something.
Yeah, finally doing something.
What's up, Jay? What are we got today?
All good, all good, all good. How you been, bro?
Yeah, I've been all right, man. It's been a quiet couple of years, right? Few years.
Few years, I
Few
think.
years.
Okay.
And we're back, I guess, after... Okay, we've been quiet since 2019, and we've been active end of last year. We started doing stuff again.
I would like to welcome everybody to the podcast, and I hope that you would find our discussion interesting and, I don't know, inspiring, I guess. But overall, it's all about just two guys talking about geek stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. So, our subject for today is about so when and where did the Marvel Universe start for you?
Sometime like before the year 2000 when I was very young. And I remember my dad used to make us... Well, he used to like Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and we used to watch that a lot. I mean, to me at the time, Iceman was like amazing because it was different, I know Spider-Man is cool. He's my favorite superhero. But Iceman was something else. Like seeing something on TV, like a human turning into like a block of ice and fighting like creatures that have different powers. That was amazing. A girl just turning into fire. That was also amazing, Yeah, but Spider-Man all the way, man.
Spider-Man. Interesting. For me, it started with Marvel Universe trading cards.
Yeah.
1992.
92.
Is it 92 or 91? I
think there were two releases early 90s. There was the first batch. I think it was 92 or maybe earlier as well.
I think because for me it started with the second series.
Oh, they had the X-Men in that, didn't they?
Yeah, they have the X-Men. I mean, the first series also had the X-Men.
Okay, I don't remember.
But the thing is, it's like I would say that the how would I say this? The second series of cards have the yellow border. That's the best way I can describe it.
I don't remember. Which one did I give you for your birthday a couple of years ago?
That's series 1.
Series 1. It was complete, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was complete. It was complete. So that's where I started my interest in the Marvel Universe. Because, so back then it was like you see stickers, you see Spider-Man somewhere, you see them in lunch boxes and stuff like that. But you don't really know about their story, right?
Yeah. The card had all the details.
Yeah.
Power, speed, I don't know what.
Yes,
background.
exactly. So that's exactly what I experienced. Like I did not know that Spider-Man's name was Peter Parker, really, stuff like that. So it had more interesting details that does not really require you to know about the comic and read about the comic. This is how I start. This is how it started for me.
All right, cool. Mm-hmm. Like Dar al-Hikmah was one of the bookshops that used to sell all these comics and these random cards, and they had a lot of them. They had like also stickers. They had other kind of cards as well that have no relationship to whatever I was watching or reading growing up, like random. What was that? The Garbage Kids or whatever.
Garbage Pail Kids.
Yeah, that one. And then there was like other stuff. Yeah.
How much access did you have with comic books back then?
So we had our own local comic book called Majid. Yeah, Majid used to come every Tuesday. Used to come out every Tuesday. We bought that. We read it. It was really nice. I mean, it was very original. But I really liked like superhero stuff, so I couldn't find many of that. It was very difficult to find it. Because it wasn't consistent, right? Like you'll get chapter 7 and then the week after you find chapter 12. I don't know what happened to 8, 9, 10, 11, right? It was like that. But it was probably like released properly somewhere, but that was like the closest place to my house had only these random ones. Like it was this supermarket called Safestware or something. I don't remember, but they used to sell comics, and it wasn't really numbered like properly. Like it wasn't sequenced in a way that anyone could keep up with the story, right?
When these comics, when they were available, were they localized in Arabic and stuff like that? You know?
So there was a publisher that localized them, or probably I'm not sure if it was actually from UAE or any other country, but there was a release in Arabic. I unfortunately did not have access to those. I found out about them like really later on. Like I found out about these like maybe 15 years ago or 10 years ago. It was too late.
I see. So there's a possibility that maybe these comics, let's say, if they are indeed in Arabic, they may have come from Egypt or
Possibly, yes.
Kuwait or
Like,
something like that.
At the
right?
time, Egypt and Jordan, and Kuwait as well. You're right.
Yeah, right.
These three countries were like a superpower when it comes to translation, and like really the main three countries that translated everything we knew in terms of pop culture, anime, or so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, interesting, because now that I think about it, like, because okay, let's say for example, growing up from during those times, what we thought of Arabic
Right.
is mainly Saudi Arabia and Egypt. You get it?
Yeah.
We don't really have an idea. Like, I don't know. At least for me.
Well, at least, it makes sense because geographically, they are like one of the two biggest countries that you can see on a map, right? Because
Yeah.
if you look for UAE, it's kind of small comparing to the rest. Yeah.
Like, I mean, let's say for example, like video games. What was the experience for you at least?
Sega Mega Drive Avengers Assemble. I think it's Avengers Assemble or just Avengers. I'm not sure. It's the one where you have Captain America, Hawkeye, Vision. I think it was.
Yeah. Vision.
Yeah.
Actually, I always remember one dialogue from there. You know, like what was that? Wait, shit. I know this. Can't read or something like that.
I don't remember, man. It was a very long time ago.
I don't know.
I remember, like, I went to my friend's house, right? I didn't have a Sega Mega Drive. My friend had that game, and I really loved it. I loved all these random beat 'em up games, right? That had rubbish stories, or like stories that made no sense. They were all like probably ports from arcades. Yeah, arcades, they just give you random games. They just want you to play.
Yeah.
So, and he had that game. And usually on Eid, we used to go to my grandparents' place, right? And all my uncles and aunts would gather there. And I was missing because I was playing that game, and my parents were looking for me because we wanted to go to my grand. And I was just playing that Avengers Assemble. In America, but the audio was really crappy.
Like a
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I remember, man. But the first time I saw this game was in the arcades, actually. And you know what? What was frustrating is like this game was actually like a coin guzzler, I would say, because it just made you
honestly,
insert coins and stuff.
It was
like
very hard. I remember it was very, very hard. I mean, they made it easier for the console, right? But
yeah, but it was still hard,
it was
I guess.
so hard. Like I used to play Hawkeye just because I could shoot stuff from far away and I don't have to get close. It was that hard. And there was Captain America was in it as well.
Yeah,
There were four, right?
So it's Captain America, the Vision, Hawkeye, and Iron Man.
Four.
Yeah, that's
Because I remember now the flying stage.
Yeah. Like,
how was Hawkeye flying?
he's riding a like a scooter or something
like the goblin thingy, right?
Yeah, like a hovercraft, and then you know. Anyway, you like my sound effects there? Okay, moving on to games. For me, it was one of the best experiences for games. I mean, one of the earliest games that I played was X-Men. The how do you call this? The one where there's like you can go up to 6 because it's an arcade setup that you can go up to 6, right? That one is amazing because first of all it was the graphics that really got me drawn into it. I mean, it has amazing graphics. I think the graphics still holds up until this day. You know, like it's just never. How would I say this? It's never outdated. The way it looks, you know.
To be honest, when they developed games back then, they put a lot of effort because competition was hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the very like the best way to attract people in an arcade was to have loud audio. If you
Yes.
remember how loud the place was.
Yeah.
And then when you look at it, it had to have that flashy images and animation, and then you will look at it.
Yeah.
No matter how rubbish the game is, you would just look at it.
Yeah, and also like if you can remember, the arcade cabinets for this one is like they're really big, and
they're big, and they don't give you a chance to sit. You're standing.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you die, the next one puts a coin in and continues your story. You know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so that's one of the best things about that experience back then. But for me, I would say that the most enjoyable game that I ever played was Ultimate Alliance. That's in the modern
that's
era already.
That's the Nintendo one. It was on Switch. It was on PlayStation, right?
It was first on, I think it was first on PC. I don't know if it was released in, no, it was in PlayStation 2.
It was PlayStation 2 and Nintendo Wii, I think. Well, there was there was one on Nintendo, but it doesn't matter. I mean, they were all the same game.
Yeah. But, I mean, it started with X-Men Apocalypse, but I wish I had the opportunity to play X-Men Apocalypse.
Was that a good game?
I heard it was, you know, because the whole Ultimate Alliance game started from there.
Right.
So that one, and unfortunately, these games are no longer available because they are, how would I say this? The publishing rights expired. So that's the thing. Okay, so let's say, for example, I have another question for you, bro. So, in terms of comic books, what is your earliest memory of a comic book that you held and you read and you enjoyed?
That's a very difficult question.
I mean, just try to draw from memory and see what would you
honestly the Ultimate Universe, Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could probably be that, or after that. It was years after that. AVX.
AVX.
Yeah,
Okay.
Avengers
AVX.
versus X-Men. They would that. Actually, these two are like on the top of my list in terms of superhero comics, but I would say AVX would be better for me. That was entertaining. I liked all the tie-ins as well. Like, I've never ever spent time or invest any of my time into tie-ins when I read comics for these big stories, but for AVX I did. Yeah, that's how good it was for me. And also tie-ins was like a really nice idea to increase sales, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, how many tie-ins were there?
So many, man.
So many.
Oh, so many.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that because when I remember reading AVX, and I only read the main ones because I didn't want to go into the tie-ins.
There's
And I'm
a
like,
lot of tie-ins. I think probably every 2 chapters has a tie-in with another comic or 2 comics.
actually, now that I think about it, Avengers and X-Men have a long history of going at each other. They're actually 2 of the, how would I say this, main Marvel teams that always go at each other's necks.
Inhumans.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Inhumans are like, it's a strong team, but there's not much backstory behind them. I mean, I would say no, that the Inhumans are kind of like one of those set of characters that are always exciting to see because everybody wants to find out more about them, but they're not always in the picture. I would say
So,
that's,
Inhumans came out as a team of, let's say, a specific kind of genes with different powers. In a way, they are a different type of X-Men, right?
Yeah.
I believe it's just a different type of X-Men, but let's give them a different backstory. But it has more like aliens. It has more of whatever, right?
I would
And
say, yeah, go ahead, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. And then after the success of X-Men in the 90s, which made Marvel boom, there was a slowdown early 2004 Marvel, right? And they needed a team that already exists but has unique powers, different powers, you know. But how many like how can you just keep up coming with like random superpowers that make no sense? Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are just similar to the others. One does like a green explosion, the other one let's just make it red,
Yeah.
and it will explode the same but do less damage, you know.
Yeah.
And it's an inhuman power or whatever, you know. Make this guy shout and everyone explodes.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, I mean, the Inhumans is like cosmic X-Men.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well said.
Yeah.
But I like this one, right? Oh, Nightcrawler teleports. Make a dog.
Make a dog
Let him
teleport.
teleport the whole team. And then the other one's like goes on Photoshop, Control T, stretch, enter. He's big now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Exactly like that. I mean, in a way, I kind of like Inhumans. Yeah, the Inhumans make me curious. You know, there's a certain level of mystic, but okay, I'm already at a place where it's like I don't know if I can actually go back and read whatever is out there, you know?
Yeah. Whatever I'm going to say next could disappoint a lot of people, to be honest. I am a big fan of certain Marvel characters. Not all Marvel characters that I see, I would like to watch movies about them, or at least watch something where they're involved in, or play a game that day. Because I started losing interest in a lot of the recent comics in the past, like 4 or 5 years, I'll say. I have a super hero fatigue right now. I think a lot of people are having the same issue, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. I would watch a Spider-Man movie, of course. I'd watch any superhero movie right now, but I'm not gonna like rush into it like I used to. Like I'm not gonna rush to the cinema. Hey, there's a new Marvel movie, let's watch it. No.
Yeah.
Like I've missed a lot of movies, and I just wait for them to come on TV or like watch it online or whatever.
Yeah.
If my daughter wants to watch it, I'll go watch it.
Yeah.
That's how it works for me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, hey, we need to go cover this. We need to do that, you know?
Yeah, the thing is like back then, when it was like, when, let's say, for example, I would say up until Thor, the first Thor movie, I would say it was still exciting, you know, because there's still magic in it, right? Like when for me, because me, for example, growing up back in the Philippines, we always had discussions about. Okay, when we got into comics, we always have discussions about, who did this, who did that, you know, who's stronger, who's that, and there's always that kind of discussion happening. But and then there was always like we also did some fan casting, you know, like who
Okay.
could play this guy based on available movies back then, like. Arnold Schwarzenegger was always a good candidate for Colossus, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that, you know, that kind of discussion. We only always had that kind of discussion. But then again, it's like superhero movies back then was okay. They were always there, but they were never this serious. You know, they were
Yeah.
never this exciting as how it is now.
You're talking which era now? 90s or something?
90s, man. 90s, even the 70s. But
Yeah, what did we have back then? The Phantom.
yeah, the Phantom. Let's say
There was a Fantastic Four movie.
there was a Fantastic Four movie, but that was not released. There was
Yeah, it was never released.
Yeah,
you're right.
there was The Mask.
The Mask.
Yeah,
yeah.
there was how do you call Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin, yes.
you know,
Batman and
that
Robin,
kind of-
Batman Forever.
Batman Forever. There was a series of Batman films that was, I mean, 1, 2, maybe 3. is good, but 4 and 5, it's like, no.
Hey, here's a
It's just
superhero movie that no one realized that was a superhero movie. Blade.
Oh, Blade, yeah, yeah, definitely. When that came out, it was like, wow, whoa, he's so cool, like. But I would call that the Marvel Phase Zero. you
Blade, yeah.
know,
Blade was a bit successful. Yeah.
it was successful, man. Like, but then again, it's like Blade 1 and 2, okay. But when they got to Blade 3, it's like, nobody cares anymore.
When did the Watchmen come out?
Watchmen, comic or movie?
Movie.
The movie came out around 2008,
So 2000.
2009 or 2008, something like that,
Okay, late 2000. Yeah.
So that was really good as well. But I think it's too heavy to watch. I don't know. That's how I felt about it.
To me, I watched the movie before I read the comic, and it was very confusing. After I read the comic, I watched the movie again. I appreciate it.
Which one? You mean the
Watchmen. Yeah,
Watchmen. For me, I read the comic before watching the movie, but I felt like when I read the comic, it was already too late for me. Because it was like, it was like, I don't know, like...
It's a little bit close to source material, I could say.
I mean, you mean the movie?
Yeah.
Definitely. There's no denying that. They changed a few things here and there, but it was still a good movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie. It was a little bit heavy.
I put the colors as the 97 colors.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just to go with the TV show. I think it's not bad.
Yeah,
I've been learning.
Okay, speaking of X-Men, did you ever get into X-Men 97, the original cartoon?
So I've watched episodes, but again, it was just like the comics. It was inconsistent because we used to watch on VHS.
Yeah.
And we probably had we'll get like VHS 1 and then VHS 5, which has different episodes.
Okay.
So like there's a gap in between. I know there's like a whole story thing going on, but like we had so many gaps. And I'd had to borrow it from friends or whatever.
Okay. So, are you saying that there was no broadcasting station where it was broadcasting on? It was broadcasted on free TV.
Yeah, we had only one channel called Channel 33, and
Okay.
they did not have that.
So back then there was still no Space Tune.
Space Tune. I don't know exactly when Space Tune started broadcasting stuff, but their main focus was dubbing anime at the time, rather than like X-Men and Marvel stuff. Yeah, it was mostly anime.
Okay. I see. You know what? During that period, I'm just pulling from memory right now. During that period, X-Men, the animated TV show. During that period, was it 97? No, it was earlier than that. I don't know why it's called X-Men 97. But anyway, during that period, when X-Men was out, there was always like a power outage in the Philippines during the time when it is about to go
So I had
out.
problems watching it.
Yeah. So we had problems watching it. And then we always have to go to this one place. We have a friend. They have a generator at home.
Oh, serious?
Yeah. And we would watch from the window.
From outside?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why he only brings a limited amount of friends and inside, and then he would say, "You can just stay there." I don't know, man. It was
Maybe
horrible.
his parents were like just 4 people allowed.
Yeah, kind of like that. But it was so funny. And then some of us will just give up trying to watch it. We just see a glimpse of Juggernaut running, and then
What's the point?
You know what? Yeah, what's the point? Let's just go and play hide and seek, whatever. It's dark.
Yeah.
That was. I remember this period because it was like a whole week. Every 6:30 p.m. It's like power outage. No power in the evening. And then it goes back on at around 2 a.m. or 4 a.m. Like that was that was so horrible back home. Anyway, so but then it's like good memories though.
Don't you collect Marvel Legends?
I did.
You have a lot, hundreds.
I do. I do have a lot, but I don't know. I'm not the completist type. So I would say that the most complete selection that I have is the Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Yeah, these are good figures.
The Guardians of the Galaxy movie cast, no?
Yeah.
But I'm just missing Yondu and Tin Groot.
From the second movie, then.
Yeah, that's it. But also, yeah, I also don't have Nebula. I mean, there's a lot of things that I need to catch up on, but I have to stop. I have to stop collecting it because it's just right now. I just feel like I have too much of this.
Let me make it worse. Do you have Mantis?
No, I don't have.
See?
I don't have Mantis. I don't have Yondu. I don't have Nebula.
Howard the Duck.
No, I don't have that.
And
Really?
what's the dog name?
Cosmo?
Cosmo,
Is
yeah.
it Cosmo?
Cosmo,
I
yes.
don't know. I mean,
No, Cosmo is the guy from Full House.
I go for certain figures. You know me, like I just have what do you call this? A certain set of
I'll tell you what you have. You have characters that look normal,
yes,
like people.
yes,
That's what you have. You collect those.
yeah, like Captain America. You know, like
You don't have like blue face, alien, red stuff,
no,
power suit. No.
yeah,
Okay. Would you say you have more legends than an average collector? Would you say you have more legends than an average collector? Yes.
I think so. I
Yes.
think so. I mean, it's enough to fill a wall.
So you have a lot then. That means you have a lot. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I know
Okay.
people who have more than me. That's all I can say.
Dex
you know.
doesn't count.
You have more than I.
In legends?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Yes.
I have less than 100. You have hundreds.
No, man. I have 100.
No, I have less than that. I'm certain. I sold a lot at Swap
You sold.
and I'm planning to sell more soon.
You sold. Okay, that's fine. So, what would you say would be a comic book story that inspired you, that gave you like, how did I say this? That made you feel like something has changed in the way you think.
Yeah, there is one actually, but it's not comic books. It's just a generic story that was reportrayed in comics, movies, cartoons, whatever. It's just the basic idea of Spider-Man being, let's say, a street level superhero. I think I would say it's a person that I am already. It doesn't have to inspire me to be whatever, but I can relate to it. I don't know if this is who I am, but I believe that you can always do good no matter who you are. If you're a hero or just a normal person, you don't have to be a cosmic level hero to save the world, right? Or the universe. You can just be you saving one pet, one life, one tree at a time. Just do good in general. And Spider-Man started, the streets, helping people from getting mugged, picking up cats, cleaning up, doing random things that he has access to. And it didn't matter. Like when you read that, you're like, okay, he's doing good. And then you switch to like some other comic book, like let's say Thor, and you see he's doing stuff in space or whatever. Yeah. So no matter who you are, no matter where you are, whatever you can do, there's always a way, or there's always something that you can do to help somebody or help something, or at least put an effect into the environment, So that's what it is. And then it's just not just that. Like if you think about the character overall, he's gone through a rough time, right? There's a lot of people dying around him. There's a lot of tragedy. He's sad, yet he never stopped.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's like it's kind of like one of those things where they say like it's like kind of like in spite of all of the bad things that is going on around him, he just keeps going, right?
Yeah.
So
but there's like this is me in Spider-Man, but I believe there's another character that portrayed this role better. Batman.
oh yeah, Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
but it's not a topic for today. I think Batman itself needs a whole.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Batman thing is like it's a subject on its own.
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty much. I mean, I think at some point we will be talking about them one by one.
You know,
right?
for Batman, I think you should bring the biggest Batman fan,
Oh,
Alfie.
okay.
Alfie. That's the only DC comic he reads. That's the only, anything superhero. He's just Batman.
Batman.
He loves Batman.
Anyway, if you're going to make a list of top 5 characters,
Top 5.
yes,
Marvel.
Marvel, go.
Spider-Man, Captain Marvel. I'm gonna say I'm sorry, guys, because you're not gonna agree with my list. So Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Medusa. I'd say Richard Reed. One more would be very difficult. Probably. I can't put a number 5. Kitty Pryde.
Ah, Kitty Pryde. Aye. Okay. For me, it's Wolverine, obviously. Wolverine. Who's this other guy? Punisher. Deadpool.
I changed my list.
Deadpool. Captain America. And my number 5. Still another X-Men though. Nightcrawler.
Okay, I'm changing my list now. It's very difficult. So
It is
Spider-Man for
very
sure, number 1. Number 2 would be Captain Marvel. Number 3 would be Magneto.
Magneto.
Number 4 would be Doctor Doom.
Doctor Doom.
Yeah. And number 5, I would say probably Medusa.
Medusa.
Very dark. I like her backstory. I like her personality. I like everything.
Okay.
Queen.
So, favorite super villain? Magneto, Doctor Doom.
To me, they are heroes.
Ah,
Yeah. To me, supervillain would probably be. Ooh, like maybe Thanos or.
Thanos. For me, it's like Thanos, Galactus, Magneto. Actually, Magneto, Thanos, Galactus. Who's the other one? Another X-Men. Another X-Men. Villain. Man, I just
Okay, for me-
Apocalypse. Yes.
Apocalypse. For me, I would say Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister.
That guy is
yeah.
pretty much a Sinister.
Yeah. Apocalypse, and what's one more guy? If I am going to name another guy, Doctor Doom, I guess.
I don't think Doctor Doom and Magneto are villains because so if you portray humans as heroes, defending Earth or whatever, defending their own country or whatever. By the way, Magneto and Doom are doing the same, right?
Kind of, yeah.
So if someone's defending himself and he's running out of options, he needs to attack, right? To stop people from. Kind of like that, no?
Kind of like that. Like he's a protector of his country.
Or his belief, or his whatever, you know? Yeah, sometimes people believe in things and they still do attack in real life, so I'm not going to say anything, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing, like we had this discussion before about these characters are very complex. Like they are listed as super villains, superheroes, or super villains. But again, if you look at their motivation, it's kind of like in the gray area. If you look at it from adult eyes,
so
like
in a way,
like that.
I've learned something. If a story is retold in other people's point of view, you'll have a different opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you sit with Wolverine right now and he tells you how his brother Sabretooth is a stupid, evil, whatever, and then you sit with Sabretooth and he'll tell you how his brother abandoned him when they were doing. Oh, okay. Sabretooth is a bad example because he was bad, anyways, right?
Yeah.
But if you sit with Professor X and like
Magneto. Yeah.
right? Everyone's gonna tell you their story from their point of view.
Yeah.
And then whichever is more interesting and whichever is told in a way that made you feel comfortable with, you'd go with that as a hero, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like, but you know what? This is what make these characters amazing and because of their complexity. You know, like I think nowadays, there's a lot of books where they're not being written properly. I guess I mean, lately there has been how would I say this? There has been, and I hate to say this, you know, because I love this kind of stuff. There has been a downgrade in quality when it comes to writing this stuff. There's not much interesting stories, there's also a possibility that maybe I am not reading enough. You know.
So I do read a couple of comics just to keep it going, right? But you're not wrong, Jay. There are some interesting stories, but they are just, from my understanding, that writers are being asked to re-look into some of their writing, some of their scripts that's been altered to the general point of view, you know? In the past, I think there was more freedom into writing. Like they'll be like, McFarlane, you just go and come up with your own art and work with this guy and he's going to you know, write something cool. You guys do it together and whatever.
I think it is also because it was a different time. I mean, the way things are portrayed right now, there's like a very big disconnect between artistry and creativity.
So,
You know?
in a way,
Kinda
like
that.
back then, I think what happened, and this is why a lot of people came up with Image, right?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of freedom to express whatever is just going on in that brain of yours, right? So you come up with your own story, draw the character the way you want to draw it. So you remember when they said this character was designed by so and so and so, and then again he was redesigned by Rob Liefeld or redesigned by. This doesn't exist anymore. It has to go through like 10 people to approve.
Yes.
Right? Whatever
Yeah.
it is. And then once it gets to the 7th person, they're like, nope, put a pink ribbon on it.
Yeah. I
It's-
think I totally agree with you on that point because at the same time Marvel is not how do you call this, the same company as it was 10 or
Yeah.
20 years
Well,
ago.
Well,
you
this
know,
is
like
just not for Marvel. I think it's going on for a lot of comics, a lot of books, a lot of novels.
I would say it's not only for Marvel. It's not only for the comic book in general. Like me, for example, in advertising,
Yeah.
it happens a lot like that.
So the freedom of creativity has been, let's say, shrunk a bit.
Yeah.
Other than that, if you want to be free, either you work with Image, which I think there are some limitations now as well. But
I think you can if you still want to like go to that high level of freedom, you just go publish your book on Indiegogo or something like that, you know, crowdfund your book. But then again, before you get to sell, you need to establish a reputation first, right? You know, like you need to be.
I mean, it's very difficult to find a comic book that you can, you know, let's say, give some fun to and do some backing and all of this, and then expect it to be the best because it's very unknown people, right?
Yeah.
But some of them can be really good. Like honestly, I'll tell you, our friend Andrew, man, Star Bastard is really good.
Oh yeah. That is a fun book. Like what I like about that book is that it has how would I say it has heart.
Yes.
You know, that one is like I love that book, and hopefully I can get all the other issues soon, or he can release them a trade paperback, you know, kind of like that.
I back all these comics and they keep coming by mail, so I'm okay. I love it.
It's good for you, man.
Yeah. I like his stuff. Honestly, and he sent me a message 2 days ago telling me to order paints because he's in the UK right now, right? And then it's gonna go to his address. He's gonna bring it to me, and I forgot to do it. Probably tonight.
Okay.
So Andrew, expect a shipment soon.
Anyway, shout outs to Andrew. Keep writing comics, bro.
This is fun, Jay. We should have been doing this since, like, I don't know. We should have never stopped actually filming or recording or coming up with random stuff. I believe this is fun, and I think we should keep doing this. We will keep doing this. And I would like to tell you all that if you want to be with us, let us know. Tell us what we can discuss. If you have something special, unique about you, also like a superpower, inshallah, let us know so we can like show the world who you are and what you can do. And I guess this is it for today. Thank you so much for being with us. And
Yes. Thank you so much for tuning in to the podcast. And if you reach this point, we highly appreciate it. So you can also follow us on our Instagram at Hobby Nation.
So I must say, this is fun, Jay. We should keep doing it. And I think we should have never stopped, to be honest.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, the thing is, it's like we just got into different priorities. We got busy, whatever, you know. Like,
Yeah. I believe what I want to say is, if you would like to be with us behind this table, behind the cameras, reach out, man, girl, or I don't want to label stuff. The message. Okay. So, and if you want to be behind the cameras with us here, just reach out. Let us know. Tell us about you a bit, and let's do it. We're going to have a lot of people coming here. We have the cosplayers, Isa, Alex, for sure. They want to be on the show. We got also, let's say, what else? These are the only two that...
There's a list of people that we... But, of course, we cannot...
reveal
them yet.
We got a lot of people that will be with us, and if you think you want to be on as well, let us know. We'll be doing a lot of collab with a lot of communities. I think there are many communities that are segregated, and we need to all connect and be one, right? I mean, a community is only made for a reason, to connect, to communicate, network, and share the love of hobby, share the love of whatever you love. And a lot of people will have a lot of common things, and it doesn't mean that you do it on your own. You should just find someone and share that with them.
Definitely. It's all about connecting and sharing.
Let's create the network.
Anyway.
Shall we call it the network? We still need to find the name.
Anyway,
the network.
So thank you so much. If you reach this point, thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed that discussion, and we hope that you find inspiration and encouragement in that. and share. Yeah, share this amongst your friends if you like it. I guess that's it for today, and hope to catch you guys soon.
Man, we need better audio than this. This is like poor.